In today's video, I am going to be talking to you about how you can use the 5-out offense basically as a way of teaching your team how to use off-ball movements to be able to score points for your team, but also different strategies that you can run, and of course, for your team to win, but for your players to learn. You can learn a ton off of the 5-out offense, and this is why I want everyone, even myself, to teach every player the basics of the 5-out because they are going to be learning a lot of off-ball skills. So let's get down and let's check out how you can teach off-ball movement with the 5-out offense. Really quickly, if you want to be able to run the 5-out offense with your team, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below. And if you like the idea of me drawing on this app, the app is down there as well. It's called the Playbook, and you can download it with the link that I've got down in the description of this video. Okay, so one of the most basic plays that you can run with the 5-out offense is drive, kick, swing. So for example, if player 1 drives to the basket, player 4 needs to sprint up to the point, and player 2 needs to sprint up to the wing. This is the corner, this is the wing, this is the point, this is the high post, this is the low post. Now we are teaching off-ball movement when there is something happening with another player. When player 1 kicks that ball out, whoever he passes that ball to, this would be an impossible pass, and this pass could be there, but generally only there with older players because this is a very hard pass to make for younger players. So these two players would be the most obvious choices with younger teams. After he makes that pass out, we are then going to swing that ball to player 5, and player 1 is going to then fill that spot that is now vacant. Player 3 makes that pass, and now we want to teach our players to not just play like robots, but to make decisions themselves. So a lot of teams will say, okay, pass, cut, swing, and when you pass the ball, you've got to then cut to the rim, or drive, kick, swing, drive, kick, he cuts after he swings the ball. Now, well, that's always good, but now player 3 made that pass. We want our players, or at least I want my players, to make a decision. Do I screen for that player? Is that a good idea? Can I create a mismatch between my defender and player 5? If I can, I will set that screen. I will roll. Player 5 can attack or pull it for a 3. This gives a lot of options, especially with a screen to a wing along the baseline, because now he can roll to the high post. Player 5 can attack the basket. If he gets doubled, then he can pass it out to player 3. There's a lot of options. They may not guard it right. He may be able to score. There may be help, deep help. He could kick it out. There's a lot of different options, but there's more than just the pass and screen. There's also pass and cut. And if he cuts from the corner, he needs to fill back out. Posts up for a second, fills back out. When he cuts, if he cuts and he fills back out, player 5 has to be patient, and then he has to then cut or swing that ball to one of these players. Now, off-ball movement. We're always talking about off-ball movement. And while it is a great idea, we have to teach it the correct way. So if player 5 attacks the paint, player 3 does a short roll to the elbow. Player 4 should, in my opinion, sprint to this corner, because now player 2, he's going to be wanting to sprint to this wing, because now we can give player 5 the option to kick the ball way out to player 1, and this is a great option. He also has the option to pass to player 3, but now he has the option to pass to player 4 and player 2. If he passes to player 1, obviously if they're more advanced high school players, player 3 could set that screen, pop out, roll, something. There's a lot of different options that you can set where you can just say screen for somebody. But again, now we're getting into more advanced things, and you may be only coaching 9-year-old players. Going back to the basics of the 5-out offense. Pass and do something. Pass and screen, pass and screen, pass and cut. These are the 3 most basic things that can be done in the 5-out offense. If he screens here, this is going to be a screen and roll. Player 4 fills, off-ball movement. Player 2 has the option, passing to 1, passing to 4. Player 1 fills out if he doesn't get hit. by a pass. There's also more advanced options onto this as well. Player 1 could screen away. This could be an option. You could make a rule with your team every time your body touches that, let's say, with a off-ball screen, and you do not get that ball passed to you. Your momentum is taking you in this direction. Player 3 cuts, player 2 fills, player 1 fills, player 3 may get that ball. So while there are basic options, drive, kick, swing, pass and cut, pass and screen for the player you passed to, and pass and screen away, those are some basic options that you can teach your team, but you cannot run a whole season on just the basic offense. You need to add in something extra. And that something extra could be after you touch the paint, whether it's off of a cut or a roll. You've got to screen for somebody. Then that player touches the paint. He may be open for a pass. If he's not, he now, because he touched the paint, goes and screens for somebody else. Meanwhile, that player who just received that pass, he may pass to somebody out in the perimeter. Now he's cutting, and now the rest of the players have to pay attention and say, oh, now somebody else is cutting. There's only one player allowed to be touching the key at a time. I now, instead of cutting to the basket, I may fake that cut and then pop back out. For example, this. Player 3, let's say, came off of a screen. Player 4 is now popping here. Player 3 may set a screen for player 2, but player 5 may have passed the ball to player 4. These guys have to be paying attention to what player 4 and 5 are doing. Now player 5 is cutting because he just passed the ball. Well, now player 2 may fake that cut and then pop out, because now that may lose his defender and he may be wide open for a 3. Meanwhile, player 5, he just cut. He may now set that back screen on player 3 who just set that screen, and now player 3 is cutting. Meanwhile, player 1 may be filling out here, which means that player 5 fills out to this wing. This is very advanced. But once you start getting your players running through this stuff in different drills, this becomes super easy and absolutely impossible to defend. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys again in my next video.